Prashant was saying, Silicon Valley. So when we hear the word startup, the next word comes to our mind is Silicon Valley. And BJ, you have been part of TiE for the past 30 years, I think probably since the inception of TiE. So we have seen a journey of TiE in Silicon Valley. So what we would like to hear from you is two things. One, how Silicon Valley ecosystem is different compared to other ecosystem, because we are very curious to know that. And two, how TiE has made contribution in that journey.
Thank you for having me, Kashyapji. So I think, when I got involved with TiE, I mean, I know you made me sound very old. You said part of it for 30 years, but I was in my late 20s back then, and first-time entrepreneur. And what I saw was that, there were probably, you could count on the fingers of one hand the number of people of Indian origin who had made it big. And when I say made it big, means listing your company on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. So these are stalwarts like Kanwal Rekhi, Dr. Suhas Patil, Vinod Khosla. And, I would read about them in the press and say, wow, these guys have done so well. And I was truly inspired by reading about them. Now, all of these stalwarts, they came together, and, what they realized is that, wealth creation through informed entrepreneurship is a very, very noble endeavor. And so they said, look, we have done well, we have made money. Now, how do we help our fellow people? Now, instead of just writing checks and making donations, they figured, let's teach other people how to create wealth themselves. And so that's how TiE came together came about in 1992. It's the world's largest not-for-profit, which helps people create profit. So all of us are pro bono. We don't get paid anything. We do this just to give back. And it's a very unique organization. And so I think, to answer your question, I think you wanted to know, how does TiE help? Big part of it is inspiration. You come to events like this, you hear from very successful people. Another big part of it is, mentoring. So you actually get to identify and get mentored by successful people. Networking is a huge, huge aspect of this. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. When you come and meet successful people and you network with them, some good things are going to happen, right? At a minimum, you get inspired, but, in my own journey, right? So my co-founders, my investors, my customers, and finally even companies that have acquired me, they have all come through the TiE network. I'm not, making this up. This is the power of the network. And so I think these are the attributes which make TiE successful. And that's why 30 years down the road, it's still thriving. Today we have 57 chapters in 14 different countries. So it truly is a wonderful organization. And if you don't already belong to TiE Surat, I would highly encourage that you join and you get active and start connecting with your fellow entrepreneurs.
Thank you. It's fantastic. I think 30 years was a very long time. And I think in India also, Mahavirji, for the past almost 25 years, TiE India, started by Harish Mehta ji, I think he's on his way. So how TiE India is performing vis-a-vis TiE Silicon Valley or other chapters globally? Because I think each ecosystem has its uniqueness. I cannot simply copy what works in Silicon Valley and try to implement in Surat. So, and I think you've seen the journey of both the world. So, how we can adopt and what kind of things we can adopt from them.
Thank you, Kashyap. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate you, your team, past President Sanjay, for bringing Surat from where it was. We met in Chamber of Commerce in some gully somewhere in Surat, near that Ande Wali Dukan, and now here we are at Marriott with such a great full, and it was a small room of people, 40 to 50 people, Sanjay, right? And here we are with a few hundred people grown to this location, and I think the time has arrived. I don't know if it's delivered or we're doing a threesome, whatever that is, but I think it's a great journey. Congratulations, and put your hands together for all of them, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
So 1997, when Delhi, Saurabh Srivastava and Harish Bhai and all these people got together, and TiE Delhi and TiE Mumbai were launched. NASCOM, such organizations were in their nascent stage, and I think it was a great initiative with people like Kanwal, Suhas, all coming down from Silicon Valley and seeing, and they all came in to fight BSNL Bhagao, Desh Ko Bachao, because there was a monopolistic rule that was controlling India at that point of time, and that's when privatization in the telecom sector, and then, you know, rest is history in the tech domain, because obviously technology had an important role to play. Subsequently, in 99, 2000, 2002, many chapters were formed, and Jaipur was one of the chapters in 2002 that was launched with many other chapters. I see a lot of synergy between a Surat and a Jaipur. Traditional businesses, Marwadis, Gujaratis, diamonds, colored stones, handicrafts, builders, you know, it's absolutely great business acumen. And what Jaipur has evolved since 2002 to now is that it has become, you know, amongst the top 10 cities in the startup ecosystem. It is the next best city outside of Delhi NCR because of its proximity and the HRs that are available. Because of COVID and work from home and technology being anywhere, it is evolving as one of the big cities. And I think Surat has that potential. Its proximity to Bombay, traffic, crowd, cost of living, quality of life, everything that you measure Surat with Bombay and Delhi with Jaipur and with Bangalore's of the world. Sorry, BJ, about that.
I'm originally from Bangalore, so he wants to make sure I'm not offended.
Yeah, you know, it should be some fun and some, you know, action on the stage also. So I think Surat has a lot of potential. With the kind of evolution that TiE has brought into India, into the cities of Chandigarh, in Calcutta, in Bhubaneswar, Nagpur, and Pune, it's pretty immense. You know, from starting from the school level to the college level, and now to angel investing stage, where we are providing each and every charter member without any additional fee to angel invest and co-invest with experienced peoples across Silicon Valley. So TiE India Angels has people who are sitting in Silicon Valley, who've been there, done that, who understand technology, investing into India and startups. So I think TiE has been a great, great revolution. Obviously, Indian Angel Network, Mumbai Angels, every other angel network, every other startup fund has a TiE charter member as the founder or co-founder. I mean, Sanjay is sitting here. I mean, there's so many, Venture Catalyst, you name a fund network in India that does not have a TiE charter member from one of the chapters as the co-founder, and I will tell you that fund does not exist today. So from everyone, from Rajan to Google to everyone, we are at the helm, and TiE has played such an important role in evolving the startup ecosystem, and I'm very proud to be part of it, and I'm continuing to promote it, and I think Surat has a great potential taking that forward.
I think this is a very interesting point because, you know, recently we were having a discussion with some government authorities, and they threw two very interesting facts about Surat. BJ, right now there are around 70,000 odd startups across India. 4,500 startups are based out of Gujarat. Now, out of those 4,500, 900 startups, that is 20% of the total startups in Gujarat, are based out of Surat. That was an interesting fact. But another interesting fact was 50% of the investors are from Surat, and rest 50% are rest of Gujarat, which includes Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Rajkot, and other cities. So now taking a cue from Mahavir, so I think one is to build any ecosystem, probably we need a tech talent like Silicon Valley or a Bangalore in Surat, but which doesn't exist as of now. But then the investment interest amongst the industrialists is increasingly high. So is it a bad thing, or should we capitalize on this? How do we, you know, build on this? That lack of tech talent, but access to capital. Now, how do we build on these two things?
So if you look at, you know, why Silicon Valley is Silicon Valley, it's because it's a confluence of different things. We have very good universities. So we have the Stanford universities, we have UC Berkeley, and many, many other good colleges and universities from where you get, you know, lots of raw talent graduating every year. You also have a very, early days, we had some companies like Fairchild Semiconductor, etc., which spawned companies like Intel, AMD, etc. So a lot of people worked there and they came out and started companies. We have a very, very fertile venture investment, community. So Sand Hill Road, some of the best VCs are there. So there is lots and lots of access to capital. And then finally, you have role models, right? So when you look at role models, it could be a Steve Jobs, or it could be an Elon Musk, or it could be a Zuckerberg. I mean, anywhere you look, there are role models. So in some ways, while Surat may not have been doing startups, but anywhere you look, you have role models, and you've had them for hundreds of years. So I'm a big history buff. And so if you think about it, I mean, today I had gone to the Surat fort, on the Tapi River. And you see over the centuries, right, whether it was the Sultanate or whether it was the Portuguese or the British, they all came to Surat because this is where the business was, right? The exports, imports, value creation was happening in Surat for half a millennia. So I don't think you need to really try very hard to do anything. It's already here. You just need to, I think, connect all these dots and make it happen. And so, Mahavir, you want to add something to that?
Yeah. So I have a different take to the whole story. So, I mean, AC kafi thanda hai, so we need to do some exercise. So I want, guys, can I have attention, please? Raise of hands. How many of you invest in stock markets? How many of you invest in mutual funds? How many of you invest or have money in the bank as a fixed deposit? How many of you invest in land? And everyone obviously invests in their businesses, time and money. Now, these are all asset classes that you have invested in. You can cash out a stock market in 1 day, a mutual fund in 2 days. Land might take longer. So they have life cycles. And everyone tells you कि लंबे time तक stock market में रहो, लंबे time तक mutual fund में रहो, return better आएगा, and don't just, सुबह शाम बेचो खरीदो मत. Correct? Similarly, startup, and I know Sanjay will take a master class on what this asset class has later on and go very deep into and detailed. But now this has evolved as a asset class for sure. Now the challenge is lack of knowledge. Stock market में तो चलो कई tip देने वाले मिल जाते हैं. Stock market में you've now understood because it's been around. Mutual funds are not difficult. You see their return on IRRs and you invest in property. Obviously, you know what's happening, where it's happening, etc. So what I suggest that you should do when you want to invest in this asset class, of course, 3 different verticals in the startup ecosystem. One, locally, within Surat or in Gujarat, you should make small check sizes and invest in local startups that you feel that the team is good, their idea is good, they're doing some technology, they might or might not succeed, the odds are very low. But directly investing into startups and understanding what that is will teach you much more than what you would learn otherwise through YouTubes or any other classes or any other channels. Secondly, networks. TiE has a network. There are multiple other networks in India that you can become part of. And part of being those networks, you co-invest with other people. You listen to the deal flows, you listen to the questions that are being asked, you look at the pitch decks, and then you say, ये 4 लोग invest कर रहे हैं या 8 लोग invest कर रहे हैं. To me it sounds good, it's a great idea. Competition में नहीं था, सारे सवालों के जवाब दिए, team भी अच्छी है. You co-invest with people who are experienced, who have done that, who've been successful, who've exited. That's the second option that you have. The third option is SEBI has registered funds, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3 funds. You can become an LP there. You can invest like you invest in mutual funds. Mutual funds are, decided kis stock mein lagana, nahi lagana by the person who's leading the mutual fund. Similarly, all these funds are led by successful people who've done previous funds or doing new funds who are experienced, and that will give you return. For obvious reasons, this asset class has a window of anywhere from average 5 to 7 years. It can go to 9 years. You might have an exit in 3 years. But divide your startup asset out of all the other assets that you have, like that, into these 3 different buckets. That way you will learn, you will add, and that's what I think what traditional businesses should do and Surat should do, and you will see that when you divide your money in these three asset classes, you will see Surat will evolve and grow as a startup and as an angel VC hub where no fund, no VC or angel can have a fund if he or she does not come to Surat. That's what you want to change here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think you talked about the asset class, but I think the critical question here is most of the assets that you mentioned are tangible assets, where in startups, when you invest, most of the companies are in the intangible class. How do we change this mindset? What is the formula? Because you lead TiE India Angel, you meet investors from across India. So how do you change that mindset? What's the secret formula?
Which stock or which company is not tangible? Is Paytm not tangible or Reliance? Everything is, they're all risk-taking investments. Other than maybe gold and banks and land, land prices have also gone down south also. But the return on investment in the next 5 to 6 years at least in India, in startups, and you will see that and you will regret that if you don't invest, and in the past 4 or 5 years also, will be the best. And the fact that you are starting off, you will be investing in early stage, idea stage, pre-seed, seed stage, you will have the best returns. It's just a matter of making the right choices, investing with like-minded people, investing with people who are knowledgeable and not taking too much risk, and dividing your assets not into just one investment, but multiple investments. And also, if your investment in a startup is doing better, continue to invest in that in stages as it grows, because that will give you the best return and cover. So the difference between the stock market and the startup ecosystem investment is that if you've made 10 investments, one investment will give you the best returns that even if the 9 investments become 0, it will cover for all the 9 other investments. That's how strong the return on investments on certain startups are. So you really have to have the knowledge, learn, and then invest. Gradually, you will also learn the tricks and what's working and what's not working. Obviously, you have to be updated with what's happening in the competition, and not only in India, global competition, because in technology, there's no borders. So something could be happening in Cisco that might just finish your startup, or something might be happening in Cisco that they might want to acquire your startup. So it could work either ways, but you have to be knowledgeable enough to know what's going on in the world, and that's something that's very important. That's why I suggest you co-invest with people that you trust, that have the knowledge, have had the success rate that they've had, and that's what I recommend.
Right. So I think investment and funding is a very important pillar, but I think that's just one of the 5 pillars of TiE. The other 4 pillars, mentoring, incubation, education, and networking, are important. But BJ, what is the relevance of organization like TiE vis-a-vis other industry association, and how we are different? What is our differentiator as TiE, or what differentiator we should try to create in cities like Surat?
Yeah, so I think I'll narrate a little sort of story here. So Prime Minister Modi, right after his first term, in 2015, he came to the Silicon Valley. He got elected 2014, so 2015 he came to the Valley. And again, I mean, though, we all have lived in the US for 30, 40 years, our heart is very much in India, right? So we are very patriotic people. And so, we hosted his visit. So we took him to the guys in the back, if you could please keep it down.
Guys, hello. पीछे वाले भाइयों, आप लोग सब सूरत में ही रहते हो, बाद में बात कर लेना.
Yeah. So, so when Prime Minister Modi came, so we took him to the usual, the Sundar Pichai, the Zuckerberg, we did all that. And he was so impressed. He said, this is amazing what is happening, right? I mean, we see youngsters who are creating so much of value from nothing, right? It's not like it has to be a generational business or Khandani business. These people are just creating so much of wealth on their own. And he said, India needs this. Because in India, we have such a huge population. Every month, I mean, lakhs of people are coming into the workforce. We can't provide jobs for all of them. So we need other people to, start entrepreneurial ventures so that, these people can be employed. So he actually said, look, we need help. And so we actually, TiE had a lot of input into what finally came out as the Startup India policy. And so in 2016, early 2016 at the Vigyan Bhavan, he launched the Startup India policy. So I think, really, it's, you were asking what is the value of TiE, right? What can TiE do? So right from the PM's level, right? In fact, a delegation of us from Silicon Valley came to Delhi for that launch. We actually got to meet the PM, and had a very, very good discussion. That same evening, we were invited to dinner at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The late Pranab Mukherjee, he had us over. So because TiE is a not-for-profit, we have a lot of credibility because people look at it and say, you know what, here is somebody who's trying to help fellow entrepreneurs, to help the country. So we have a lot of credibility, and we also have, a lot of recognition, right? So today, how many people can say, well, the PM knows about our organization? So if somebody is from TiE Surat, definitely PM Modi will know about it, right? And so that is the power of TiE, is the credibility, the access, and the goodwill that it has. So over the last 30 years, we have influenced so many entrepreneurs. So there was a study done by Professor Annalise Saxenian at UC Berkeley, and she computed loosely that about $1 trillion worth of wealth has been created within the TiE network. 1 trillion, that's 1,000 billion, that's a big number. So this is sort of the value that TiE has helped create, with nothing, no expectation in return, right? We're not asking for any shares in the company, we're not asking for any commission, nothing. So it's really amazing, the power of TiE.
Right. I think absolutely, and I think last year KPMG also published a TiE Global Impact Report, and I think there were few numbers were very interesting. 2.5 million jobs given directly by TiE members. TiE members contributed $50 to $80 billion of investment in startups. Now, interesting thing is these numbers. I think what is unique about probably TiE is, and probably that's the goal you can set for new chapters like TiE Surat and probably TiE Vadodara and Lucknow. That whatever we do should be measurable and it should create impact. Because I think what we always keep hearing from TiE Global is what impact you have created in the ecosystem. So for a new chapter, what is your expectation from TiE Surat? What do you want us to do to build the right startup ecosystem and empower entrepreneurs here?
Mahavir, you want to take that?
Sure. So expectations, see, I'll tell you, one pillar of TiE is networking. And I think many of us are beneficiaries of that. I, for one, am definitely a beneficiary. It's a quick story on, I'm a carpet manufacturer and exporter in the early 90s, and I'm doing very well. I said, nahi, carpet mein kaam nahi chal raha, let's add jewelry. So I start jewelry from Jaipur, again, manufacturing and exporting. So earlier I said, yeah, this is not enough, we need to grow. So I acquire a company in the US, we start importing in the US, we start wholesaling and retail. We said, nahi, India is a good economy. In early 2000, we opened retail stores in India, so we have retail in India. We're importing into India. And 2007, 8, startup ecosystem is evolving, Indian Angel Network is happening. 2009, we have a retreat in Jaipur. And Kanwal Rekhi, Sanjeev Bikhchandani, Deep Kalra, Saurabh Shrivastava, all these people who've been investing for 5-7 years come to India. और मैं बात कर रहा हूँ कि कितना टॉप लाइन है, कितना बॉटम लाइन है, आफ्टर सुबह 9 बजे लेबर से माथा लगाते लगाते रात 9 बजे तक कोई 1-2-3 करोड़ बचते साल में, we are working so hard. And here is Sanjeev Bikhchandani on my left and Deep Kalra on my right, दोनों NASDAQ पे लिस्ट हो रहे हैं. मैंने कहा ये करते क्या है जो साला इतने करोड़ की कंपनी बन गई और हम पलदारी ज्यादा करते हैं. That just inspired me that was tech is the future. So 2010-11, I started to understand the technology bit of it and how you can scale up much quicker, much faster, unlike a traditional business. आज 10 है, कल 50 है, कल 100 है, 1000 करोड़ होगा. But $1 billion होगा, trillion होगा, वो technology कर सकती है. And that's when 2012-13 I started to angel invest. We founded Rajasthan Angels. And it was all because of the network and inspiration from all these people. So what I expect from TiE Surat is that you, first and foremost, no networking is possible or no networking globally or nationally is possible if you're not networked amongst yourselves. So you need to build partnerships and cohesions amongst yourselves, learn from each other, unlike a traditional business where one diamond wala is competing with the other diamond wala, in the startup and technology, everyone says, Sanjay bhai, you also invest na yaar, mere 50 kam ho jayenge, dono saath karenge. Because the follow-on round becomes easier if there are two people investing in the same thing. So unlike in other traditional businesses, startup is something that Sanjay will call me and say, Mahavir, you want to invest? I am investing. You also should invest. Because we see strength in each other in the follow-on round and bringing value to the company. And that is only possible because Sanjay and I have met 20 times. You and I have met 5 times, and so on and so forth. So the more you reach out to TiE Global events, the TiE Global Summit in Hyderabad, the TiE retreats globally, TiECons in different chapters, it is very important to meet people on official dinners, post dinners, late nights, early mornings, and meet with family. And that network effect will make you so strong, be able to pick up the phone and call someone or email to someone, reach out to someone that, hey, you are in the biotechnology, you are a doctor, can you help me on this biotech company? And that is the power of the network that TiE has. And I think that is what I expect from Surat. It is starting, and you told me in the lunch area that you not met Aftab bhai for 5 times the last 2 years, but in the last 15 years, you've met him 5 times already. So you get to know people more, you're more cohesive, you're more knowledgeable, and you grow together. And that is what is the most important pillar. And I think once you have a strong networking base in Surat, collectively investing across sectors, forget startups, even in property, in business, in whatever, in traveling together, attending global events, meeting people from Silicon Valley to Boston to Atlanta to Bombay to Kerala, you will see that you will change as businesses. Your outlook towards your own business, even if you don't invest, will change. And that is what is the power of network that TiE brings, because everyone is selflessly giving back and sharing knowledge with each other.
And if I may add, this network is not just about business. Some of my best friends are from the TiE network. In fact, most of my friends are from the TiE network. So if I'm in Jaipur, right, I'll just call Mahavir up. It's not like Mahavir and I are investing together or doing any business together, but just, you meet wonderful people. And so, I meet amazing people around the world. So anywhere I go, right, we have chapters everywhere. Anything you need, it's not just business. Even if you need any help or if you need to just hang out with people, it's just a fabulous network. So the people I'm meeting in Surat, trust me, if you come to the Silicon Valley and you call me, you know that I'll make the time and say, hey, come have dinner or come, let's hang out. Similarly, if I'm in Bangalore, so it's just a fantastic network. There's no downside, right? It's not just, okay, I have to have a ROI in terms of, rupees or dollars and cents. You just meet some very quality people and make these lifelong relationships. So the people, today, for the last 30 years, the network I have built, it's fantastic. Right? And it's on so many sort of counts, right? I mean, we have our TiE Global Summit coming up in Hyderabad, and we need big speakers, right? So we need some keynote speakers. So I was able to reach out to the CEO of Adobe. Adobe is the Photoshop and PDF company, multi-billion-dollar revenue company, Shantanu Narayan. I said, hey, Shantanu, we need you to come speak. He's flying all the way down from San Francisco to Hyderabad to give this keynote. Now think about the power of that, right? I mean, he and I have never done any business together, nothing. But he's a TiE charter member of TiE Silicon Valley. I made a request. He's coming. So it's just invaluable. I mean, it's just, I can't even quantify the value of TiE.
Absolutely. That means it's up to TiE Surat that how we leverage this, right? So I think then probably my last question to both of you would be,
without us being there to showcase and then finally invest in those startups. So the government can't do without us. We should initiate and push the government to do these events, reach out to smaller places and smaller cities, and become collectively together to partner and grow the economy of your state or this part of the state. And that's what I feel you should be able to do next year, at least have government's role far stronger and deeper, unlike what you guys have done and contributed money together, which again deserves a round of applause. And absolutely something that I would look forward to in the next TiECon.
Yeah, so I think, and I was discussing this with you guys earlier as well. If you look at the number of business leaders you have in Surat, I think you have a very tiny percentage of them as your charter members. You have 50 charter members. I'm sure there are at least 5,000 people worthy of being charter members of TiE Surat. So you need to make a list. You need to identify who are the movers and shakers who are the captains of industry in this city, and go and approach them and say, look, we need you to be a part of our network. Because it's also inspirational, right? I mean, if I am, getting a chance to sit next to a Mahavir Sharma, I will come because it's inspirational, right? I kind of, network and I get my selfie opportunities with Mahavir. So it's just, you really do want to have this sort of halo effect. So make sure that next year when we are here, you have a lot more representation from your, sort of the top people in Surat. And then the second thing is, I think you need, as you were saying earlier, you need some quantifiable or measurable output, right? So you need to set yourselves goals and say, okay, today we have 50 charter members. By next year, I'd like to have 100 charter members. I think in Jaipur, these guys have a waiting list for charter members. People are waiting for, a lot of time to even sort of join. Ravi, you're smiling. Isn't there a waiting list?
Our president is here, but I'll tell you, in Rajasthan, in Jaipur chapter, we charge 4 lakhs joining fees. We charge 80,000 per annum plus GST. And there is a waiting list, and we refuse people to become charter members because you want to be part of us, you want to be part of the ecosystem and collectively work together. You have to qualify. It's not just the money that can you charge. And I want Surat to be at that position within a year or two. But start moving in that direction. 50,000 rupees is nothing. I mean, 50,000 तो अभी वो शाम को बंबई जाएंगे तो ज़्यादा बिल आ जाएगा 5 लाख का तो.
Absolutely. So I think one thing we can promise on behalf of TiE Surat is definitely a bigger hall in the second TiECon, and definitely we'll work on the 8 targets that you've given, BJ, and I'm sure this is just the beginning of our journey.
Do chapter retreats, travel together, go outside Gujarat because you can have something more that you can't have here. This will create a bond and value. And when we do charter member retreats, and we're going to Umaid Bhavan or Lake Palace and it's costing us 1 lakh rupees, we don't, it's highly subsidized. Jaipur will pay for almost 60% of the trip because we want serious people to come and not say, "Main aa raha hu, phir aayega nahi." So we do charge 40% of whatever the cost is, and we serve, BJ, the best of food and beverages. And honestly telling you, that is what is going to take your chapter to a different level, because that family to family, spouse and the charter member both coming together will create something that everyone will be happy and a win-win solution for everyone.
The kind of bond I see in some of these chapters, and I'm going to put in a plug for Jaipur here again because we have both Ravi and Mahavir. Their charter members are fighting with each other to host other charter members. So when I go, right, and these parties, they pull out all the stops. These are just fantastic because it's like a privilege for them to have their fellow charter members come and, enjoy their hospitality. So that's the sort of bond, I see in, many chapters. I know it's a very new chapter here, but we're just giving you some nuggets that this is what you can aspire for. This is what you need to do, because then it becomes, people look forward to being part of TiE, right? You don't have to go and twist people's arms and say, "Yaar, aa jao, pay your dues." They will be lining up because they're having such a great time.
Absolutely. I think we'll definitely work towards it, and we promise a bigger, better, and more interesting TiECon next year.
Absolutely.
And definitely we would require your support and cooperation for that. And I'm sure we'll have a fantastic time. And also, friends, I think next 2 days, we are going to have amazing sessions by leading speakers. And we are fortunate that we, got this kind of speakers in our first TiECon. So thank you so much, BJ and Mahavir, for coming for the TiECon and motivating us. And I'm sure next year we'll have a bigger, probably more 3-day TiECon that we were earlier planning.
Absolutely.
And let's look forward to it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Amazing.
All
Thank
the
you
best.
so much. A round of applause to all the 3 people out there. Such an inspirational discussion.